So you've had the medical test, right? The procedure's over, you're heading home. But what happens now? Well, today we're going to dive into that critical, often totally invisible part of your healthcare journey, the part that starts the second you walk out the door. Let's break down what's really going on behind the scenes.
It's a pretty surprising thought, isn't it? We put so much focus on the test itself, but honestly, the real heavy lifting, from keeping you safe to figuring out what your results actually mean, is just getting started. This is where the next chapter of your story begins.
You know, this is the question that's on pretty much everyone's mind. And in this explainer, we're going to answer it. We're going to follow that journey step by step and talk about your role in it, which, as you'll see, is a pretty big one. Okay, first things first, let's talk about safety. If your procedure involved any kind of sedation, those first few hours are all about making sure you recover smoothly, without any hiccups.
So why a full 24 hours? I mean, you might feel fine after just a couple of hours, right? Well, the thing is, moderate sedation can mess with your judgment, your coordination, and your reflexes for way longer than you think. This isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's absolutely non-negotiable for your well-being.
So, it is so important to take these rules seriously. No getting behind the wheel, no celebratory drink, and please, hold off on signing any legal papers. Even something that seems minor, like smoking by yourself, is a risk. Every single one of these guidelines is there to prevent an accident while your body is still processing everything.
All right, so you're home. You're safe. Now the focus shifts from your body to the data, the results themselves. And it is so easy to think of them as just pass or fail, black or white. But the reality? Oh, it's so much more interesting than that.
Seeing that word abnormal on a report can really make your heart skip a beat. But here's what you've got to understand. All it really means is that something is outside of the typical range. Think of it as a clue. It's a sign for your doctor to start investigating, not a final diagnosis.
And this is such a key concept to get your head around. A great example is an ECG. It can show if you've had damage from a heart attack in the past, sure, but it has absolutely zero power to tell you if you're going to have one next week. Tests are just a snapshot in time, and every single one has its limits.
And this is where things get really fascinating. That idea of a normal result, it's not some universal one-size-fits-all number. Your personal biology, your own unique story, plays a massive role. Let's dig into how your body actually shapes the numbers.
The answer is actually pretty simple, because we're all different. Our bodies aren't standardized machines rolling off an assembly line, and all the little things that make you, well, they also influence how you show up on a medical test. These three are the big ones. I mean, everything from the daily vitamins you take to the completely natural changes that happen as we get older to your family's genetic heritage. All of it can shift your results. It really shows you why context is absolutely everything.
Now look at how specific these differences can be. This is amazing. Take hemoglobin, for instance. A normal level for an African-American person is naturally about 1 gram lower than for other groups. Now, that's not a red flag for a problem. It's a well-known biocultural variation that a good doctor knows to look for.
So, what's the bottom line here? It's this. A number on a lab report is basically meaningless without you, without your age, your meds, your family history. You are the context for your own results. It's such a powerful idea. Your normal isn't somebody else's normal. It's yours.
So let's shift gears now, away from the data and into the really human side of all this. Getting your results, especially if the news is tough, is a huge moment. It's all about communication, emotion, and just coping. 70%. That's a huge number, right? Well, that's how much of communication is thought to be nonverbal. It's not just the words your doctor is saying, it's how they're saying them. It's their posture, their eye contact, the whole vibe. This quote just hits so hard. Basically, it means if a doctor tells you bad news but they're rushed or looking at their computer, you're going to react to that feeling of being dismissed more than the actual words. Trust is either built or completely broken in these little moments.
You know, when you get difficult news, your response isn't always this straight line. It is perfectly normal to go through stages. Right away, there might be shock, or this wave of anxiety, or maybe just denial. But then, as it all starts to sink in, these secondary feelings can pop up, like insomnia or finding it hard to focus. It's just so important to know that this is a natural process. Recognizing this isn't about rushing it. It's about giving yourself permission to feel and work through something that's really, really hard.
And here's the most important part. You are not just a passive passenger on this ride. You have a right to know what's going on. Ask questions, speak up, take control of what you can, and please give yourself the time and the grace to process your feelings. You are an active partner in your own healthcare.
Now, your personal experience is, of course, the most important thing, but it helps to know that it's all supported by this huge system of checks and balances, all designed to keep you safe. So let's zoom out for a second and take a look at this invisible safety net.
Think about your medical record. It is so much more than just a folder with your name on it. It's the central hub, the core of your safety net. It's what proves you got the right care, and it makes sure that everyone on your medical team is always on the same page.
And then on an even bigger scale, your little test sample is part of a massive national network called the LRN. It connects labs all over the country so that if there's ever a major public health emergency, there is a coordinated system ready to respond and protect all of us.
And inside every single one of those labs, your samples are handled with unbelievable care. It's like a tiered security system. They're called biosafety levels, or BSLs. They go from BSL-1 for really common low-risk stuff, all the way up to BSL-4. We're talking full-body, air-supplied suits for the most dangerous diseases in the world. This whole system makes sure every test is done safely, protecting the lab techs and the public.
And that really brings us full circle. The end of a test isn't the finish line. Nope, it's the starting line. It's the beginning of a new chapter where you, armed with all this information, can be a truly active and empowered partner in your own health.
So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. After everything we've talked about today, the next time you have a medical test, what's the one new question you're going to ask? How are you going to shape that conversation from now on?